Right, morning folks. It's a bit early today. It's not even 6 o'clock in the morning, but I had a rough night's fucking sleep. Couldn't sleep very well, so I just decided to get up early, come and get me coffee. Anyway, today I'm heading to Northampton, to a little place called Borton, I think it's called. I'm not sure whether it's pronounced like that, but that's how it is read to me. There's ruins of an old church there, and there's also an old grotto in the area that's that I'm going to go and have a look at as well. And there's also St Peter's Church, which is a redundant church under the care of the church's trust. Now you have to contact the church's trust before you can get access to it. It's only by appointment, and I done that yesterday. Sorry, the day before I sent them an email saying that I was going to be in Northampton on Saturday. Is there any chance I could get in? And they sent me an email, and I got a phone call. They were really helpful actually, but I can't knock them at all. Fantastic, brilliant. And they explained to me that I've now got a time frame to go in there. Like I've got a 2-hour time window, so I can go and collect a key from a certain place. I'm not going to say where that is on here because, well, if you want to go there, you'll have to contact them yourselves. I don't want to give that information out because, well, it's not my place to. But anyway, they were really helpful. I can get access to the keys, 3 keys, show me how to get in. There's a guidebook in there that'll explain bits and pieces about all the church, and then what I've got to do is run the keys back when I'm done. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this one today. The only problem I got with today, right, is for the past few days it's been really nice weather. I've been working outside in a t-shirt, but today it's fucking raining, and I'm gutted about that because I even charged up the drone and was really hoping to make like a nice video today, but it looks like that's not going to happen. But when you go to a ruined church, you know, or any ruin, I think it can look quite atmospheric even if it is dull and rainy, you know. So I ain't going to let that bother me too much, but I would have liked to get the drone in the air, but never mind. Anyway, first things first, I'm sat at McDonald's obviously having my coffee, so I'm going to have that and then I'll head up there. Now I just cheated a little bit. I'm driving through the country lanes, come to a place called Kimbolton. I was just looking at a church. I'm not going to stop and have a walk around, but there was a shop just up the road, so I darted in and got myself another coffee. Right, I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine called Tom. He's another YouTuber. He makes great little videos about pretty much keeping fit. He's a seriously fucking fit bloke, doing his running and his skiing and his cycling and swimming and Ironman competitions, and fucking how he does it is amazing. But he makes some good videos, so I'll leave a link for him below. He's recently bought one of those Insta360 S's or something, and the footage that he's doing now with that is fucking brilliant. I'm seriously jealous of the footage he's managing to do with that camera. It looks bloody amazing, it does. I did consider, you know, well, I was looking at them myself rather than the GoPro, but I don't know why I didn't. I really fucking wish that I'd been on about getting one of them. I mean, I got this GoPro as a present, the one that I'm on now, but yeah, there's something about that Insta360 stuff that looks proper cool. It really does make decent videos. Anyway, go check Tom out. He's a top guy. He's such a nice guy. In his video work, he's really cool. He's quite the chap. Go and give him a look. Right, well, I found the church ruin, but one of the biggest problems I've got is finding somewhere to park, because the ruin is right on a country lane, a narrow lane. So there's no lay-bys or anything to park at to get to the site. So I've got to do a bit more exploring before I can pull over and go for a bit of a walk to it. But I ain't, to be honest, having too much luck yet. But I might have found something. Here we are. No, there is a car park. I take it all back. The postcode has took me to right in front of the church on a country lane, but if you turn off, there's a little side road and a car park. But what I'm looking at right now is a load of fucking fly tipping on the side of the road, right in front of this ruin. Unbelievable. Gives me the ump so much. I hate people that do this. I think it is absolutely dreadful. Bastards. Okay, St John the Baptist ruin in Broughton, can't pronounce it. It's a nice place to come and visit. It's very well maintained. It's a beautiful place, it really is. It's nice early in the morning. Now rumour has it this one is haunted by a notorious highwayman and other phantoms in the area, apparently. That's what the report says in the newspaper that I've just read. But all seems pretty calm and tranquil this morning. Yeah, this one's worth a visit. Middle of nowhere. Highly recommend it. I'll leave a link for this one in the description below so you can come and have a look at your own leisure. Anyway, that was the ruins, and I highly recommend this place. If ever you're in Northampton or Northamptonshire area, come and have a look at this. It is really worth it, especially on a nice day, but it wouldn't matter if it was raining, to be honest, because it's quite atmospheric in there. But there is a bunch of benches in there, so you can sit at the top of the hill overlooking the ruin and have a coffee if you want. And I think I should have done that this morning, but never mind. Maybe I'll return one day, I don't know. But it is definitely worth a visit. Anyway, I'm going to head off now to that Broughton grotto to have a look at that. And then after that I'll be going to the church, but I can't get into the church. Well, I can't get the keys till 10 o'clock and it's only just gone 8 o'clock, so I have got a bit of time. I'm hoping where that grotto is, it will be in an area where I can go and have a walk around for a little while, get my steps up. Yeah. Anyway, let's go and have a look. Right, there's a small change of plan. I'm just driving through Broughton now, and the whole area looks like it's filled up with old cottages built out of sandstone. It's got that sort of you know, that sort of thatched cottage appeal to it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like one of those oldie woldy villages. That's what it looks like. Anyway, there's a church right behind me. I don't know whether it's going to be unlocked, but it is definitely 100% worth a look. So that's what I'm going to do. Have a quick nosy at that before I carry on to that grotto. And according to the sat nav, I'm only 1.7 miles away from it. So yeah, this is well worth just having a quick nosy. Well, it's not open. I'm not surprised really, but definitely worth a look around the outside. I'm quite impressed with this one. I think it's definitely had work done on it. It's got remnants of all the old original brickwork, but then it's you can see where it's been repaired over the years. But it is a beautiful one. Just unfortunate I can't get inside, but I'm glad I stopped off just to have a nosy at it, you know. Pretty little quaint town, this village, sorry. Everyone, I mean, I've walked past a couple of dog walkers, both have said hello to me, and been really polite, but this village has got the perfect feel, you know, to being oldie woldy, out the way, away from busy life. You know, there's a lot of buildings here with thatched roofs. They look absolutely gorgeous. They do. Looks like a stress-free environment, you know. I can handle some of that. Right, a change of plan again. I got distracted by a sign that was in the middle of the road saying Saxon Church, and I followed the signs and I'm in the church car park, so I don't mind. All right, the grotto can wait, but I'm parked right in front of a church and it looks fucking stunning. So let's go and have a look. Right, well this church is the All Saints Church, and I've just had a good old chat with a guy from the local area, and he's given me a lot of history about it. There's a lot of this that is from the Saxon times, and apparently the wall that is just there, right next to the church, there's like it goes below the church, and this whole area is filled with catacombs apparently, but they're all sealed up. You can see the doorways where they used to be, but you can't get in there anymore. But there's an awful lot of history behind this one, and there's a cross embedded into the wall, which is made of solid gold. Apparently it was gifted to this church like years and years ago, and it is in a Y shape, and apparently that is symbolising Jesus on the cross. I'd never seen one in a Y shape, so I'm going to see if I can get a picture of it, and I'll show you that now. Now, according to the guy that I was just talking to as well, apparently this church is open all the time. Apparently they open it up at 8 o'clock in the morning and then lock it up late at night. So I hope he's right. I hope it's open now, because I'm really eager to have a look on the inside. He was also explaining to me, I think there was a monastery nearby, and above some of the windows you'll see some like red tiles, and they were used from the monastery. You know, when the monastery was demolished, they went over there, collected these tiles and installed them into the church walls. blown away by this one. I could stay in here for a long time if I could. This is absolutely stunning. Very well maintained. Everyone that I've met and spoken to is really friendly. And there's just something quite calming about this place. I could sit in here for a good couple of hours, I think. Yeah, stunning, absolutely stunning. I'm going to leave a link for this one below. You've got to come and have a look at this one. This is amazing, it really is. Church there at Brixworth that's blown my mind. That as like I say, I had a chat with a guy that was walking through, and he explained to me about all the bits and pieces of it. Very knowledgeable. There is so much history behind this church, it is unreal. And looking in the visitors book, there was a lot of people come to visit this one from France apparently. And there was another guy from India that I read, and several from South Africa. Random, but according to the guy that I was chatting to, there was like lots of visitors come through this way, lots, just to come and see this church, and that's it. And then the lady, the church warden, I'm assuming, that opened it up for me, she was telling me about the high quantity of visitors that come through. But to be fair, it is opened in the morning and locked up at night. It has got CCTV inside. I mean, there is a lot of stuff in there that could possibly get taken or vandalised, so they've got to do what they can to look after it. But at least it is a place that you can come and have a look around and appreciate it. I mean, I stopped walking around it a few minutes now, and I've just been sat in the car looking at it and just having a drink and admiring it. I mean, it's such a peaceful, wonderful place. I highly recommend this one if you enjoy doing this sort of, church crawling or just somewhere nice to visit. It's definitely worth it. It really is. I'm chuffed to bits that there was a sign on the road, or on the side of the road, saying Saxon Church, because I didn't know it was here and I would have missed it. So anyway, that's enough of that. I'm going to head up to that other church now, the one of the church's trust that I've got to get the keys for. Yeah, I want to go and view that. I can get the keys at 10 o'clock. It's coming up to 10 now, so I'm going to go and deal with that. But I don't know whether I'm going to go and do that grotto or not. I might give that a miss. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I am looking forward to visiting this church. And I'm not going to lie to you, driving around Northampton town centre is an absolute fucking nightmare. Not enjoying this one at all. I really wish that I'd have said to the guys I could have picked up the keys earlier and made this my first visit, because the traffic here is absolutely horrendous. Getting around here is a right stressful thing. Now I'm looking for the church, but I ain't got any sign of it whatsoever. It seems to be sat-nav's taking me round in circles. Not quite sure what's happening here. I might have to abandon. Oh, there's the church. It's just finding somewhere to park. It's in the middle of the town centre. Didn't quite realise that. So I think what I'm going to have to do is find a car park in Northampton town centre, just dump this there, and then find my way to the church. I didn't quite realise when I'd done the research that the church was in the town centre. I just found it on the list and put the postcode in and saved it. I didn't really do the research on where it was, so that's my own stupid fault, isn't it? This is where my research on certain things could be a lot fucking better. But I said before, I don't enjoy the research in part. I'll have to remember that in the future when I plan a trip somewhere else, just to make sure that I can I can get to the place that I want to visit without any aggro whatsoever. Well, after a little bit of faffing around, I managed to get in the church. The keys that you issued are a little bit awkward, a little bit fiddly, but bear with it. You will get in, and it is definitely worth it. This place is magnificent. Okay, getting to it, not very nice driving through Northampton, not the town centre, but when you figure out where to go and collect the keys from, it all becomes clear, it all becomes relatively easy. And once you've let yourself in, you're greeted by this. And I mean, it's pretty cool, it's pretty spectacular. It does make you think, what happened? Why did it end up being redundant in the first place? You know, why was it not used? What is going on? I mean, this is one of those churches that hits all the spots. One of them ones that you can see being busy on a Sunday or a Wednesday evening. You know, this is one where you'd expect a lot of people to gather, but for some strange reason it's gone to pot, gone to redundant. But the church's trust have stepped in, and there's a group of people that look after it, and they're doing a great job. And it looks like in the kitchenette area there's a few odds and sods lying about, so it is used, I think, for various activities. Don't know what they are, but there wouldn't be that amount of kit in here if it wasn't. But it is a fucking stunning place. It really is. Sometimes I feel a little bit overwhelmed in these redundant churches, and this is definitely one. As much as I moaned about getting here, I'm bloody glad that I made the effort to come out this way. Absolutely spectacular. Right, I'm now in a place called
Preston Deanery. Never heard of it in my life. But there is another redundant church here under the care of the Churches Trust. And this one, apparently, down in this area, where we are now in the chancel, they used to use it as a greyhound kennel. Random, I know. But I'm sure it was used for regular church at some point. Well, it was, obviously. It's definitely a cute little one with a little bit of history behind it. As we walk up to the back end, to the tower, apparently the bells were removed and they used to use it as a pigeon loft. So, whereas the wealthy used to eat pigeons as quite a fancy food, wasn't it, for the richer people? So that's what happened here. I mean, it's bizarre just reading bits of history. I'm going to see what's online, and I'll stick a link below. But this is definitely a cute little one. I mean, it's not the best I've ever been to, but you can see why they're preserving it. It is nice. There's definitely bats in here though, because there's bat droppings lying about. But yeah, this is a nice one, a nice little find. It was only a couple of miles away from Northampton, so I'm glad I managed to pop in. If you are going to come here, there's absolutely no parking out there at all. I mean, I've just managed to sort of tuck it away in front of somebody's property for a minute, but it's probably not the ideal location. But I've got to do what I can to get parked so I can come and visit these locations. Anyway, I'm going to have a walk around the outside and move on. But I'm chuffed to bits with this one. It's cool. It's very cool. Right, I'm back winging it again now. I've just left that church and I'm just driving deeper into the country now, just to see what's around. I'm not looking on the internet anymore for anywhere else to visit. I'm just going to see where the road takes me, and at the moment it's fucking glorious up here. As far as the eye can see, you can see the I think it's rapeseed oil fields. You know, they're just glowing yellow. It looks fucking beautiful. It does, it really does. The only letdown I got at the minute is the rain's here again, but it's not going to spoil my day, not at all. I just hope that I find somewhere else to visit. Right, I'm probably less than 2 miles away from where I just was at that other church, and I'm in a place called Quinton now, and there is a church right there, still active, that I'm going to go and have a walk around and see whether it's open. I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to be or not. It's a quiet little village, but don't mean nothing, does it? I mean, it looks nice from the outside anyway. I'll go and have a look, see what happens. Unfortunately, it is all locked up. There is a sign there saying you can go and collect a key, but I feel a bit bad for doing that. I don't want to disturb people's days. I mean, I don't mind it when I'm visiting a redundant one, but when it's still an active one, I don't want to do that. Never mind. It's a nice little place though, very quaint little village. I wouldn't mind living out here. I think I say that all the time. I think I wouldn't mind living in any little village, to be honest with you. Out in the sticks, middle of nowhere, away from the busy towns and the traffic. It's just completely ideal for me. Anyway, I'm going to press on, go a bit further down the road, see where it takes me. Right, I found one more church, so I'm going to go and have a look at that. I was just laughing to myself. I was just turning down a road and there were signposts everywhere pointing to various places, and I hadn't heard of none of them. So that did make me laugh, because usually when I'm out and about, I always think, oh yeah, I've heard of that place. Yeah, I know where I am. But this time, no, not at all. So that's really cool. I'm in a place called Hanslope, I think it is. I think that's how it's pronounced, Hanslope.
And there's a church behind me. It's got a massive tower on it. That's how I noticed it from the side of the road. So I'm going to go and have a look at that, but then I'm going to call it a day, I think. So let's go and see if I can get in this one. Well, I haven't managed to get in. It is all locked up, unfortunately, but it was worth coming up here, well, worth pulling over just to have a look at the outside, because that tower is absolutely magnificent. It's really big, it's really grand, you know. It looks almost too big for this village, but yeah, it's pretty cool, quite impressive. Anyway, not too sure what I'm going to do now. I think I'm going to call it a day, unless I see something else on the way back. I mean, I'm still quite far out, so there might be something that jumps out at me before I completely give up and head back to Stevenage. So let's see where the road takes me today. So I visit churches, a lot of churches, and I want to continue this for as long as possible. Now, it's got me thinking. I'm not a great believer in religion and God and everything like that. I don't know, it's never really been something that I've been interested in, right? But then I'm thinking to myself now, I've already looked at a vast amount of churches, but I've barely fucking scratched the surface of visiting all of the churches in the country, right? And that's just in England, let alone Wales and Scotland and Ireland. So for being a non-believer, is there something in it? Is there something in religion? Is there something I'm missing? Because most villages, most towns, cities, they've got churches, you know. They're fucking everywhere, you know, of all different faiths. So, and a lot of these churches are really, really old. So where did it come from originally? You know, where did that idea come from? Was it just an idea? Was you know, was people... Now I'm talking as far back as you can possibly go. I mean, I don't know, I'm not a historian at all, I don't know, but I'm thinking to myself, as there is so many churches out there, is there something in it? And then the other day I stumbled across this video of a guy that reckons the Catholic Church are hiding stuff, hiding like important documents or something in their vaults in Rome, you know, that could throw religion into turmoil. So do you think all the information that we all know and that we all love, you know, the Bibles that we're allowed to read, do you think that is the full truth? Or do you think there's a lot more going on that we don't know about that's hidden from us, you know? I know it almost makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I just don't know. I mean, you're taught various bits of religion in your young days at school, and as you get higher up school, you know, you do more religious studies. But like I say, we're only being told what they're telling us. You know, there could be more to it that we don't know. We don't know everything, do we? There's a lot of secrecy in the world. You know, the stuff that hits the news, they're only telling us what they think we should know. So does this go right back to religion as well? Not just Christianity and Catholics, but all other religions, everything, you know? Are we only being told
bits and pieces. I'm just curious. If you've got any ideas, let me know. Now, I know sometimes there's a lot of people that say that they feel the call to God, you know, like my late dad did. He went and got, he was a born again Christian, you know, he felt it and he turned to religion. But I'm not quite sure whether that's enough, you know. If you, I mean, do you feel a call to God, or do you feel that you should have to join? I don't know. It's such a confusing debate, you know, because I know religious people. I've got religious people in my family, and then I've got atheists in my family, and I just honestly don't know. And it is such a battle now, because I think to myself, as you get older and you lose people close to you, you know, like I lost my mum and my dad, you know, and various other people, I kind of hope that they've gone somewhere better, you know, somewhere nicer than this world. I hope that leaving the earth wasn't the end for them, you know. But then when you start hoping that, you are delving in the realms of religion, aren't you, I guess? So I don't know. I just wish, the same as everybody, I just wish we knew the truth, you know, what does happen. I'm sure science can explain a bit of it, but other than that, I know you're probably going to tell me that we just need to have faith, but I think my faith in everything is shaken at the moment, with everything that's gone on in my own life and in the world. I don't know, I've lost faith. I've lost a lot of hope as well, so I don't know. Anyway, it's just that was just a little pause for thought. If you got any ideas, give us a shout. Right, I'm going to leave this one here. This is going to be the best time to end the video, because I'm 5 miles north of Stevenage on the A1 and I'm stuck in traffic. I've been sat here for 20 odd minutes already, apart from shunting forwards, you know, a few meters at a time. I have no idea what's happening, but traffic is absolutely immense. There's fucking idiots as well, jumping onto the hard shoulder, putting their hazards on and just charging down the hard shoulder. I mean, talk about fucking idiotic, you know what I mean? They could cause more harm than good by doing that and stop emergency services getting to where they need to be. I think that's fucking disgusting, but each to their own, I guess. Anyway, so I won't be going anywhere else today. I'm going to trek back to Stevenage eventually, go and get my supplies and then call it a day. So I can't remember whether I said at the end of this video I'm going to be tapping on like a bit of a pause for thought, or a bit of a rant, or just a discussion with you, because I'm trying to avoid putting too much negative stuff in my videos now. So I'm just going to tap it onto the end. So if you want to watch that, please do. I hope you do. It's nothing exciting, but it's just me getting some feelings across that I need to blurt out. So give that a watch at the end of this video. But for now, please drop me a like and a follow and all that jazz, and I'll catch you all again soon. Take care. Firstly, thank you for getting to the end of this video. Now, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, this section now is going to be the discussion on my feelings and my thoughts and final thoughts, that sort of thing. So I want to start this one by having a quick chat about my previous videos. Although I go out for walks, I visit churches in ruins and places in Wales, and I go to nice things, I've noticed that I do often talk about negative things. Now, I don't mean to do that, or maybe I do, I don't know. I don't want it to be that way. I don't want it to come across as a negative video, but I have feelings that I have to get out, and I don't wish to drone on. But if I don't talk to my camera, I will never get all this off my chest. I don't really have that many people to talk to about what's going on, so that's why I do what I do. Anyway,
yeah, I've noticed that there is a lot of negativity in my videos, and I want to be able to step back from that. I want to make them a little bit more positive, but I'm not quite sure how. It's just sprang to mind just now that I need to try and focus on some positive thinking, right? And I have heard this phrase before many times, you know, think positively, stop being negative, stop thinking of the worst all the time, etc, etc. But for some people like myself, it is very hard to do that, you know, because day-to-day life just continues to provide negative things, and I focus on them, you know. So let's say I get an idea in my head and I want to, I don't know, go visit somewhere. I will always focus on the negatives. What if, you know, what if the car breaks down? What happens if, you know, I have more chest pain? Or, you know, I always put a negative spin on absolutely fucking everything, and have done for many years. You know, before, I mean, when I used to live with my wife, I was more than happy just to spend a lot of the time at home watching telly. Going out just didn't really spring to mind, you know. I was locked away in the flat. If there was a problem, I could have dealt with it, and that was that, you know. But I do, even when we'd have weekends away, as nice as they were, I always had this feeling at the back of my mind that something was going to go wrong with me, you know. Was I going to need to call an ambulance? It was almost like the verge of panic all the time, you know. But a lot of the time I kept it under lock and key. But it was a major thing, especially now I look back, how the anxiety level was through the roof and the blood pressure was through the roof, and it still is. Now, I organised today's trip a couple of days ago. I'd planned it out, what I was going to do, and over those few days I was looking forward to getting there. But even now, I can feel my anxiety levels going up and up and up, and I keep thinking to myself, have I got painkillers with me? Have I got money with me? You know, have I got a phone signal? If I need help, can I get it? You know, it's like I'm focusing on all this stuff that could go fucking wrong, rather than just enjoying it. You know, and again, I know it's my fault, and I don't know how to deal with it. I've really got to learn how to focus on the positives rather than the negatives, because it is consuming me. But ever since that episode a couple of weeks ago with my chest going to A&E, I just can't stop thinking that something bad's going to happen. You know, every little twinge that I get, I think, oh fuck me, this is it. You know, there's going to be a heart attack. You know, and then I start thinking about the heart attack symptoms, like the chest pain, the shortness of breath, and then I focus on my breathing, and then I think, oh fucking hell, I can't breathe. Like, I'm doing it now. I'm you know, focusing on my breathing and thinking, am I breathing too deeply? Am I becoming short of breath? You know, I can't help it. I woke up in the night last night and I had a bit of back pain. That could have been anything. But again, I woke up, I sat bolt upright, began to fucking sweat and get a fucking panic on, and I got up and washed my face and tried to make myself feel better and calm down a bit. But it was a nightmare. I mean, am I talking about, like, am I on the verge of having proper panic attacks? I don't know. I know people that have them. You know, I've watched videos on people that have them. I know that their symptoms are, well, they're different for everybody, aren't they? But is that what has happened to me? You know? Again, I lie in bed and I'm just thinking about the negatives rather than the positives, rather than thinking, do you know what, it's early hours Saturday morning, you've got a day off work, you're going to go out, do a bit of exploring and make a wally of yourself making a video. but I don't focus on that. I just think about the negatives. I've had this told to me before by someone very close to me, but maybe they're right. Well, they are right. I know what I am. I just wish I could escape this negative feeling.
And that leads me on to the next topic of men's mental health. Now, this seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, on the internet, about men's mental health, getting men talking, you know, communicating with someone about all your problems, and which I get, but I'm also blissfully aware that, as I've mentioned before, some people can use the mental health card as a get out of jail free card to kind of get what they want, you know, to avoid going to work, to avoid doing things that they don't want to do, you know. And it must be difficult trying to separate the people that actually need the help from the people that don't and just take the piss. But every person that goes into the doctors or wherever they get their help has got to be taken seriously. But it is unfortunate that people that don't need this help are abusing a system that is stretched already. It bothers me a lot. It really does. I mean, I am a little bit old school. I believe that having a label is not always good. You know, I don't agree with that. Once upon a time when I was at school, yeah, I've been naughty. You know, I got a slap across the legs from a teacher, and then getting a slap from my mum for fucking being naughty for the teacher. You know, and that's it. You know, he was never diagnosed with all these different bits and pieces, fucking ADHD or whatever it is. Although, I mean, for some, maybe it is it's a recognised condition, but I don't like that whole labelling thing. I don't think it's right. But that, you know, again, a lot of people would stand up and say, Gary, you don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot, blah, 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 blah. But that is my feelings. I was a naughty kid sometimes, and I got the fucking, you know, got punished for being that way. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent there. But yeah, mental health, men's mental health. I've been following quite a lot now, and I've been watching videos and TikToks and things about men that are putting on this positive persona outside, but inside their head they're just banging their head on a brick wall. And I think there's still not enough awareness of it, and there's still not enough help for men, I think. And I'm only talking for men because I don't know about women, right? But it seems to me that there's a lot more help, and I think there's more stuff out there for women than there is men. Maybe I'm wrong, that's just my thought, but I think men get cast aside very easily, and I think men are weaker mentally than what we're led to believe. You know, all right, you get men are meant to be the hunter-gatherer, provide for their family, be this fucking tough guy, but it's not like that. It's not easy, you know. Personally, I've lived a life, and I've gone through several relationships which have failed. I know there's definitely one of those relationships which was completely my fault, but that was down to my own insecurities that made me act in a certain way. But as I got older, I realised my mistakes and corrected the error of my ways, you know. What I'm trying to say is, it's difficult for men, you know. Sometimes the men are there, well, the men are there for their women all the time, or a lot of us, you know. If the woman's going through a difficult time, we'll give them a shoulder to cry on. We'll try and help them in any way that we can, which is not always easy. But then sometimes we need the help. But it is difficult to get your point across. When it is for me, I rant on these videos and I talk, and I can't get my words out, and that's what I'm like in real life. I can't get my words out, and it's very difficult for me to get people to understand what I am and what I'm like and what I feel. And then sometimes when I do have this discussion with people, it's like it gets brushed off. Now, I don't know what I'm expecting to hear. I don't know what I need to hear. But I just have to occasionally I keep talking about it, keep talking about the problems that I've got, but I don't get anywhere with it. I don't move forward, I don't progress. And I browse through the internet, and sometimes I think that may be the fucking worst thing that I can do. But sometimes you feel like the internet is your best friend, or your only friend, you know, because the close ones that you reach out to, especially if you've got people really close to you, it's like, oh, we said this before, I'm just going to say this, you know, it's not like they're not taking your opinions and feeling seriously, but maybe they get fed up with hearing the same thing day in and day out, and just say, oh, cheer up, or yeah, well, you ain't got to deal with this, or, you know, my problems are bigger than yours, I can't do this, but you got, you know, and it makes you feel insignificant. Then sometimes it makes you think like, yeah, my problems are not as important as this other person that's got bigger problems than what I have. And then you walk away even more fucking depressed, you know. You think, oh my god, what have I done? I shouldn't have been complaining in the first place. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going on now. I'm going to sort of bring this to a close now. But it is a fucking struggle. It is. It really is. You know, sometimes at work, I fucking struggle at work. I get much more satisfaction these days about when I'm working on my own and can just be left to it. But when I'm trying to juggle a couple of things between people that sort of work with me, and then I have to deal with the people that are higher up than me, it just feels that I'm getting fucking squeezed, you know, and I struggle with it. All right, I'm paid a bit extra money for having that role as running a team, but sometimes I just want to fucking come away from it and go out on my own. I've already asked to quit my job, what I'm doing, to become a road sweeper, go out in a wagon, sweep the roads, be on my own, start in the morning, finish in the afternoon, that's it. No, you know, no work phone, no fucking aggro, because that is the biggest problem. I just want to go to work, get the work done, and come back. You know, in an ideal world, I want to quit it altogether and move away. I would love to get down to Wales permanently, but for reasons that I can't say on here, that ain't going to fucking happen anytime soon. So I'm stuck. And you could say, Gary, why don't you quit your job? Why don't you go and move to another part of the country and live off grid and do all that wonderful stuff like all these brilliant people that you see on the internet, you know? But I can't do that. And the reason I can't do that is because I owe too much money. So yeah, so I'm not going to go on about that too much, but I owe too much money to take a big wage cut to go and tickle over. I really wish that I would found van life fucking years ago when I left my mum, because I would have been rich by now. But that didn't happen. Anyway, this is the card I've been dealt, right? This is the life I've got. I am trying to do something about it. I do have plans, I do have ideas. The money that I owe, yes, it's getting paid off slowly but surely. You know, everything is heading in a positive direction when it comes to that, but it's going to take a while, and you know, these changes are not going to happen overnight. The biggest thing for me was the idea that I was going to move to Wales. That was a positive thing. That was something that I was really, really fucking looking forward to, you know. And as I get older, as I'm 50 this year, alright, it's not exactly fucking past it, but believe me, when you get 50, you'll know exactly what I mean. You know, everything starts to ache. The more you get, you just get more problems. It's like you run through life pretty okay for a majority of us, apart from the odd stumbling block. But then you hit 50, it's like your internal check engine light comes on constantly. Oh, fucking, it does. Anyway, you get to 50, and none of us know how much time we got left, and that's why I wanted to get to Wales and be with the ones that I love, and live my life down there, exploring and being happy, because Wales is a fucking wonderful place. But like I say, I can't. I'm being held back. Anyway, that's where we are. That's where I am. If you've managed to watch this end part of this video, then fair play on you. If you've got any ideas, then get in touch with me. If you've got any ideas on battling this fucking anxiety, depression, whatever you want to call it that I've got, then please get in touch. If you've got a whole lot to say, then get in touch with me on Instagram. You can find the link on the community thing. If not, just leave me a comment. But for now, that's it. That's where we are. I hope you have a good day, whatever you're doing, and I'll catch you again soon.